Let's go over a glute bridge today. I'm going to show you exactly how to do a glute bridge, exactly why it's good for your glutes, how to set it up so that you get the most out of it. I'll just kind of walk piece by piece exactly how to do a glute bridge so that you can get the most out of your exercise. I'm Dr. John Cybulski. This is the Anatomy of Therapy. Today we're watching Hana Milly, the one and only, do a glute bridge. So let's kind of get into it first and foremost. This is a great exercise for, you guessed it, the glutes. And why is it good for the glutes? Well, it has to do with the setup. So the setup is that the feet are on the ground and then you put your back and shoulders on the ground. Now, in this instance, she has got her heels dug in and her toes have come upwards. So we're really trying to dig in the heels and almost pull them back towards the glutes. What that does is kind of lock up this lower half, such that the only thing that can move, because you'll notice as she moves here, the knees don't really get that much movement in. There's a tiny bit of flexion in the knees, but really the movement is this thrust through the hips. So we can get full hip extension by isolating the heels, keep the knees generally there, and then locking up the shoulders to maximize glute extension, glute activation for hip extension. Now, the second variation, we're going to go back to the first one in a second, but the second variation makes it a little tougher. So she's now on her toes. We just said the heels helped hip extension. Well, you can also go on the toes, and that will throw your weight forward. So you'll get a little bit more of this kind of lower booty, if you will. If that's what you want, this is what you should do. Keep that toe digged in. That means there's less ankle range of motion, there's less knee range of motion, and you're really going to have to use this hip. Now, what is this leg doing up in the air? Why is it doing that? Well, this is going to localize all the work into this leg. This leg is doing all the work. This leg is up and it's going to provide a little left to right imbalance, right? So her hips are going to want to shift back and forth, but she's going to have to stabilize even more through this hip. So usually with the glute bridge, it's going straight up and down. But obviously this glute is a three-dimensional round thing. So this leg will be tempted to fall out to the side. She'll be tempted to twist a little bit. The back might move. But if she can keep this leg straight up, we're going to hit a different vector of that glute. You can see she's going up and coming back down. It's really quite hard on the toes to do that, because now she has to use the shin muscles to stabilize, and she's really only going to be able to use that glute to go up. One of the reasons people do glute bridges is because it is good for glute activation, which means compression of this glute muscle, which is what we want. And if you can get a compression of the glute muscle, you get a decompression of the low back. So you'll also see when she goes all the way up, boom, now she's in a great alignment here. So we're getting a good glute. I bet she's getting a good hamstring contraction here. So if we have compression in the glute and hamstring, we get a decompressing action here in the low back if she's not using her low back too much. And I think the two reasons she's not using her low back is because of this foot position. This is not the first time she's worked out. It's a great trick to make sure that you get your glutes to work. Again, heels down, pulling back this way, which essentially locks up all the movement there, and now she's forced to move there. The other part about the upper body here, where she won't have to use her low back a bunch, basically she's keeping her arms out wide, which is adding more and more stability. That's usually the one knock on this exercise, is that the upper body's stable point is not as common as the feet. It's going to be just the back of the shoulder blades and the head here. So you want to move your arms out wide. You can see your arms going out wide the opposite way as well. So you get a nice stability, and that you can push forward all the way through the hips. So you can see she's going even past extension. If you can get past extension, that is perfect. That is exactly what you want to get a good glute contraction. And again, the foot position is really going to help. This leg going up is going to test your left-right imbalance in the hip, and it's also going to add a little bit of weight. So usually, again, these are non-weight bearing, so you're going to need to do at least a minimum of 15 reps to really make it worth it for your muscles. If you want to make it, if you want to do less reps, you're going to have to go faster. And when you go faster, you usually give up technique for speed, right? So you want to go slow. She's got a really good pace here, but she's really making sure she just kind of feels that contraction through every single rep. 15 to 20 of these. Keep your abs tight. She's doing a really great job of keeping the abs tight. If you're feeling the glute, really the foot position should help you feel the glute. If you start to feel your back, the second thing I would have you do is to make sure you kind of engage those abs. You'll notice as you go up, she's doing great. She's really extending through the hip, but some people will really try to extend through the back. If you're doing this and you feel it in the back, just do a little bit of a crunch, pull your sternum down, do a little crunch and feel your abs engage, and then drive that hip back up. And that will help to decompress the back, activate the glutes. I think the foot position is brilliant if you're having trouble with this. The arm position is wise. Again, 15 to 20 reps. If you have questions, you have other exercises, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. Try this out and let us know how it works. I hope this was helpful. Y'all have a great day. Peace.